Hello, ShadowZone fans. This is your ghost host with the most, Brian James. And always by my side is the executive manager of the ufology department, Mr. Cassidy Lightwing. What's going on, Big Cass? Happy Friday. You know I'm talking to you, Cass. Cassidy. Can you hear me? Okay, apparently not. Well, as you guys know, ShadowZone Paranormal Podcast and Global United Paranormal Foundation is brought to you by Ghost Energy Drink. If you're in an investigation and you find yourself getting tired, crack open a Ghost Energy Drink and refill that ghostly spirit. And also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to go over and check out Parapost Network, the one place that is strictly geared towards the paranormal. It's a Facebook-like atmosphere, and the great thing is it is free to download. And if you don't want to download it, just go to parapost.net and get your shit going today. Hey, Cass, can you hear me yet?
Yes, I can.
You know, I've been trying to talk to you, telling you happy Friday, and you look like a hooker and all sorts of stuff, but you're ignoring me, buddy.
You didn't buy me a drink first.
All right, I shouldn't have to buy you a drink. You know, you should be happy if I go to Burger King and buy you an 8-piece chicken nugget and a French fry, buddy.
Then you can't afford me.
Oh, baby, you're breaking my heart. All
and
right.
your wallet.
Eli Family 1983 says ShadowZone Paranormal Podcast shared you out. Thank you. That's Half-Fern Paranormal. Hi, guys. Melissa Ewing. Hi, Brian and Cass. Hello, Melissa. And Mr. Eli, LOL. Well, hello, everybody. We have got a dynamite guest tonight, and we're probably going to get at least one or two out of the X's in the X rating. But her name is Tessa Peterson. She is a fellow podcaster and paranormal investigator. Donna says, hi, guys. Hi, Donna. Come on, Cass. Put a smile on that face, man. What do I got to do? A fat dance and show you my boobs? That's a boy. Oh, that's awesome, buddy. So, what do you think, man? Should we bring our guest on, or what do you think?
Nah, make her wait.
Make her wait? Let's see if we can catch her doing something embarrassing here. Come on, Tessa, do something embarrassing. Oh, let's see if we can get it. Yeah, we got it. Welcome to ShadowZone, Tessa.
She's a good sport. I love it.
Right. Woo! How you doing tonight, Tessa?
Shit so far. I'm doing good. I'm so happy to be here. Seriously. My number one rule on my show is have a good time, and you guys are like from the get-go having a good time. So I'm just so happy to be here today, really.
Right on.
We're happy to have you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I said in the chat room, I think that Cass is going to be my next new bestie because he was just like right on with the shit I would have been saying.
That could be a smart
buy
ass.
me dinner first.
Notice though, he didn't ask
being a
dinner.
dumbass. Seriously.
He wanted a drink. He didn't want dinner.
Well, that comes with. I'm just gonna shut up.
Oh yeah. If you're having that is your meal, because you have to Yeah, you have to look at calories. What is the intake of the calories from your beers? If you're drinking beer, alcohol, it's a lot less than beer. So yeah, you got to kind of configure it, but you got to make sure you eat. If you don't, that's when you get in trouble.
And hydrate, or you get a hangover.
True that.
That's right. But make sure you're drinking the good shit. Don't drink PBR or Jose Cuervo. Otherwise, next day you shall have hangover. Yeah, drink lots of water.
What about Heine?
Dude, don't talk about Heine on the show.
What's going on?
No, Heineken. Heineken. You know, beer, Heineken.
Okay.
You know, like
show you
get
my
your
beer.
hands off me, Heine. Hey, there you go.
This is what you need is, oh shit, no, Voodoo Ranger. Get your hands off me, Heine. But I like Voodoo Ranger because it's not only really good, yeah, but it's like 9% alcohol. So, I'll drink a 6-pack of this, 3 during the show that I do, and then 3 afterwards. But it's perfect. Voodoo Ranger, he's my bestie. TV used to be my bestie, now it's Voodoo Ranger. Just kidding. Just on the weekends.
Did you notice that your bestie is dead? Just pointing that out. Your bestie's a little dead.
Yeah, but he's alive in a different way. Yeah.
From a certain point of view.
Oh, feel free. Tell us about yourself, girl.
Holy shnikes. Okay. I was born in the year of 1978. And when I reached the age, okay, so before I remember, I had encounters with a ghost. So this first ghost, we were living in a holler in Boston, Arkansas. And my mom decided to move out. Well, before then, I suppose that we used to play on the porch and stuff, and we'd play at his feet because I think he's a relative of ours. I'm not sure. But we felt really comfortable with him. So we played at his feet, etc. But when we decided to move out, or my parents did, he threw a fit and the whole house started shaking. Dishes started flying out of the cabinets. Like, he was very pissed off because he didn't want to lose us. But yeah, we moved to Siloam Springs, which then again, I started to have paranormal experiences. The first experience I had there was supernatural, and it was not ball lightning, but it was a ball of fire that was intelligent because it knew how to change directions according to the household layout. But we were sitting in a circle.
This might seem like a weird question, but did the fire have heat?
I don't remember feeling heat. I remember my mom pointed it out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Brian, can he hear me?
I can hear you. There seems to be a weird delay.
Okay. Because he said, who? I was like, yeah, that's what I thought too. So we were here because the power went out. So we're sitting in a circle and we're telling ghost stories. And I was only like 3 or 4 at this time. And my mom pointed over to a television post, or not a television post, a power post. And she's like, look at that. And it was a fireball right in the middle of the cross of the T of the power post. And we all looked over, and then it shot towards our house. It clapped on the front porch, and then it came through into our living room. And I was like asking my mom, what is that? And she covered my mouth because I guess it's attracted to sound and movement. So she covered my mouth and went over into the hallway of the kitchen / dining room, leading down to where all our bedrooms and the laundry room was. And my brother went to get the laundry out of the dryer so they wouldn't wrinkle. And as he came out of the hallway, this thing shot towards him. And luckily, he just kind of collapsed on the floor and it went out the back wall, which our house was made of brick. And once I go back there today, thinking of having 5 kids living in this small little tiny house, like it seemed bigger back then, but today I'm like, how the hell did you pull that off? But it shot through the brick wall of, I think it was my brother's bedroom, out and wherever the hell it went. But yeah, that was crazy. And then, so we're talking about beginnings. At the age of 5, I saw my first full physical ghost. Basically, like I could see her whole body. And I've always had issues sleeping at night. I think it's due to paranormal things that have happened to me that perhaps I might not remember. But I remember just laying there. Everybody beside me is asleep. We used to have one of those beer clocks where the lights would flow and it'd be like a river through the forest and stuff like that. And so I'm watching the light bounce through the hallway and I'm just like staring out the door, wishing I was asleep. Everybody else is asleep. Why am I always left out? But I started hearing footsteps. And I'm like, what the hell? Because I've been awake this whole time. And it sounds like somebody in high heel shoes. So I'm like thinking my mom dressed pretty for my dad that night and had her high heel shoes on. And I might have blinked or turned around and looked at my sister or siblings or something as she went by and I didn't notice. So maybe she's coming back. So I called out, Mom. No response. And then I called out again, Mom. Nothing. And then before this entity showed up, I said, Mom. And it was a woman. She had a black lace veil over her face. She had one of those old 1800s, like, you know how it's like really tight to the arm and it buttons here and then it kind of flares out. And then she had like the black button up boots. Dude, she was like at least 6 inches to a foot off the floor. All of a sudden, the last time I called Mom, like I couldn't even finish it. She comes flowing through the doorway and she stops abruptly and then she slowly turns her head. Ooh, that's the part that really fucking creeps me out. But she slowly turned her head and looked at me. And you know how your sheet or your blanket is your shield? You pull it up over your face. So I pull it up to where I could still see, but it's mostly protecting me. And she turned and looked back down the hallway and kept walking. And I heard her open my mom's door and go in there. So for the longest time, I thought it was her that took my mom, but it was something else. I found out later. But yeah, that's the beginning of me and my paranormal life. As far as my team, I was in the paranormal closet until 2012. And then 2012, a child that was a friend of my eldest daughter went missing. And I knew that I could help in some way. So I came out of what I call the paranormal closet. And I didn't care what anybody thought anymore. You know, remember when we were kids and people were like, oh, she's weird or he's weird. Don't talk to him or her because they're really weird. So you just like keep to yourself because you know what you know. But at the same time, people are kind of denying you. So yeah, that's how I first came into this. And then I think it was 2018. It was either 2017 or 2018. Dave Scott of Spaced Out Radio asked me to be a Saturday night host. And I did that for a week until I became the weekend host. And did that for 2.5 years, I think. And then I went out on my own. We had a mutual departing agreement. I'll just say that nicely. But yeah, that's me. Oh, also, I'm a mother. I'm a gardener. I'm a pot smoker, and a Marine, and I'm 43 years old. And that's the end of how I can characterize myself.
Eli says that Huntophobia Canada sent me. Awesome. And he interviewed him last week. I love Brian on the podcast. He's fantastic. Hey, it's Karen. Hi, Taryn. Let's see. Ghosts are leftover energy that is very intense. Like, say, if someone murdered someone else, and when it happened, emotions ran very high and intense. That energy sort of strains the area and affect anything or anyone that comes into contact with that specific area. By the way, I got stoned and came up with that. I don't actually know if it's true. Well, smoke one for me too, hon.
That is.
Well, I have to say, yes.
That is one classification of entity. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Cass.
Oh no. We seem to have delay.
So
like
that
earlier.
that she's talking about is like.
See? Like earlier, I wasn't interrupting you. There was
roar.
Yeah, we seem to be having an issue. Like earlier, I wasn't interrupting you when I asked about the heat. There was a pause, and then by the time it came in, it was interrupting. I'm so sorry about that.
Okay, I think we're safe to talk here for a second. Just kidding. So Tessa, when did you start your paranormal team?
As I said before, it was 2012, and that's when Dylan read wine, and you guys can look it up on the internet because there's so much stuff out there because we all came together and just had this explosion of we got to find this kid, and the dad was saying something other than what was reality, but finally this motherfucker. Okay, 2012 was the year that he did it. Guess what? It was just this last year, 2021. He was finally fucking convicted. I'm sorry if I can't say cuss words. Can I say cuss words?
Fuck no.
Fuck that.
That's fucking me. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew I was in trouble. But his father was finally convicted of this murder, and that piece of shit, that shit-eating piece of shit, and you'll know what I'm talking about once you look it up, is in prison. But he's the whole reason I came out of the paranormal closet. Like, I was just like, I can't hide anymore. If it was my son, and I'm sitting there breastfeeding my son, he was just born. I'm like, if that was my son, I'd want somebody to fucking help me. And so, yeah, seriously, I was just like, we need to go out and find this kid. And the best gift that I have or thing that I have to use in this sort of parameter is my gift of the other side. So that's how I decided to go. And oh my gosh, when we heard Dylan on the ghost box, we knew it was him. We could tell by the tone of his voice. And yeah, that was insane. That was amazing and insane at the same time. But yeah, I'm so glad that I did come out of the closet because I really, really don't care or give a fuck what people think anymore about me or what I'm doing and what my gifts are, because I think we're all blessed with gifts for a certain reason.
And the more of us that come out, the better.
Holy crap. Cass, we got the Warren Area Society of Paranormal watching. This here
Right?
is Mr. Fedora. Hello, Mr. Fedora.
Hello, Mr. Fedora.
Sure.
And Eli says, awesome live ShadowZone. And he says, hey, Cass. Hey, Tess. I see how it is, Eli. You say hi to everybody but me. That's not very nice. I feel left out. That's it. I'm gone.
It happens sometimes. I think people. He did. He disappeared.
Hey, I'm just the magic man over here. Hey, Cass. Isn't it nice when you go balls to the wall?
Wouldn't it be nice if your balls were on the wall? I'm not gonna sing the right song now. Gonna mess with Brian's brain tonight and have a whole lot of fun somehow.
Mr. Fedora says, thank you for the warm welcome and enjoying the show.
An autographed picture of the Beatles.
And Eli says, ShadowZone.
I really enjoy it. And that's Yeah, my dad actually scored that for me. He was a... What? What are you talking about, my brain?
Okay, Tessa, are we getting like a delay or something? I think we are. Like in the.
So I'm wondering, maybe I can either reset my internet box or unplug my cord.
Let me try first. You're the guest. Let me try first. I'll be right back.
Eli says, ShadowZone Paranormal Podcast.
You guys are fine, right?
Wait. Buttons
wait. Cass, wait. If you guys can hear each other fine, and I'm the one that's delayed, yeah, I was just thinking it could be me. But look, it's actually better. I can see myself not in delayed time. I don't feel like I'm tripping on shrooms or something.
Whoa. So, Tessa, do you actually have a? Do you actually have a paranormal team right now?
Yes, and it started in 2012. It's called Four Corners Paranormal Investigations. We do have a website after that name, fourcornersparanormalinvestigations.com. My friend was like, that's too long. You need to figure something else out. I'm like, nope, that's what it is. But yeah, we started then. This last couple of years has been hard due to COVID, but otherwise, we still go out together, one person with another on and off. It depends on the person who's willing to do it, because everybody's really scared still. I don't know. It's been pretty crazy. What do you guys feel like the last couple of years? Have you been able to go out and do investigations together, or is everybody like, oh no, I'm afraid of COVID because I already had it, which I understand because I did too.
Yeah, COVID sucks.
I ain't afraid of it.
Whatever.
I ain't afraid to get it.
To answer Warren's
so you
question,
haven't had it yet, is what you're saying.
I'll tell you what, they can take that vaccine and shove it where the sun don't shine, because I ain't sticking that shit in me.
Well, it'll stop you from getting it anyway.
Hey, Bubba,
And my wife thinks the earth is flat. She said it's as flat as Cass's ass.
Don't get me started. Don't. Let's not do that. No flat earth.
Hey, Cass, do you know if you go to Russia and you continue to go north, you'll fall off the earth and float into space?
Yeah. Only if the turtle doesn't get you on the way down.
Okay, the messed up thing is that I said.
And Mr. Fedora says it's been hard to go on a private investigation due to the COVID around here. Done some public places like graveyards and such. Yeah, when the SGC was still running, we were having a hard time finding residential investigations because of COVID. But yeah, I haven't investigated in about 2 months now because my team is down in Arizona and unfortunately I'm stuck in Washington.
I liked Washington. They have the best blackberries in the world. I have to say, they have the best blackberries in the world. They're the best.
Well, not only that, but we got the best apples
You can't
too.
deny it.
Washington apples are the shit.
Yeah, those are good too. But the blackberries, yeah. Apples, apples and pears or apples and oranges, whatever the hell you want to say. But those blackberries, swear to God. Cass is like, that's what she said.
Mr. Fedora says, was that a disembodied arm? Yes, it was, Mr. Fedora, the disembodied arm of a ghost named Tater.
Hey, Tater.
Not Tater.
Turtles, precious.
Precious. Not my precious.
Oh, that's great. So, Cass, I'm thinking about making a bombshell announcement right now, man.
I'll let Tessa make a bombshell announcement. She's cool.
Yeah, I like Tessa. She's awesome.
What is the bombshell announcement?
Oh, I want to say it so bad.
Oh, just get it over with.
Suspense is killing me.
All right. In 2023, April 7th, 8th, and 9th, in Gleason, Arizona, the Global United Paranormal Foundation will present Spectrum Fest 2023. The fight for the cure of autism. It is going to
That's
be
awesome.
a 3-day event filled with concerts, professional wrestling. At night, there will be a public ghost hunt of Gleason, which is a ghost town. And there will be vendors, there will be food trucks, there will be all sorts of stuff. And all proceeds are going to 4 different autism foundations, both in Arizona and nationwide. God, that felt great to get off my chest.
Yeah, you should have shared that sooner. But yeah, I would share it throughout the show. But definitely, that's an awesome thing to do because I don't know. There's so many different spectrums of autism from Asperger's on, and these people like they're right there near the line of genius. And okay, I have to tell you about my nephew who has autism. He doesn't really talk except for my husband would take him out and look at. Well, yeah, depends on where you are on the spectrum. Like you're right there on the line of being genius, or you're going back a step or two. It's not too far behind because these guys are, oh my gosh, they blow my mind. They're amazing. But yeah, my nephew went out with my husband, and they're looking at tractors and stuff, and that was one of his first words were "fuck a duck." Fuck a duck. Look at those tractors.
You see, I have an autistic nephew and niece, and my autistic nephew got out of the house twice. And you see, what people don't realize is about 40% of autistic children will walk right out that door, and some of them are never to be seen again. You know, and how are the cops going to bring you back your child if he's nonverbal like my son? My son is a nonverbal autistic. He is the sweetest kid you'll ever meet.
For them and they don't call back. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's scary.
And so one of the organizations we'll be donating to actually makes ID bracelets for autistic children. And the last surprise for that event
That's awesome.
is the Sunday, the last day of the event. You will see yours truly in the main event of the wrestling event, as I will be going one-on-one with a mystery opponent. Most people don't know that I'm actually a former professional wrestler. Donna says, my 9-year-old son is autistic and nonverbal. I hear you, Donna. My 4-year-old is too, and like your kid, I'm sure, is one of the sweetest kids in the world.
They're so
So,
innocent.
go ahead, Tessa. My little
I was saying
delayed.
they're so innocent in a sense. I know. I was fine until Cass came back in, but it's all good because I like Cass being here. But my nephew's son has autism and it's pretty hardcore. And like I said, his first words were like, fuck a duck, look at those tractors. And then we used to go out to the ranch when he'd be able to come to visit because his parents separated due to probably stress or whatever else. So I commend you guys for still being together. But yeah, we went out there to visit, and my daughter Kinsey, who is now 22, she's just like crouched down next to him and trying to play with him and talking to him because she's like taka taka talk. She's a rabbit. She like talks my ear off. I'm like, where the fuck did this kid come from? But anywho's, I was watching them play, and he had this deck of cards, and he kept spraying the cards out. You know, like 52 card pickup, but he'd spray them out, and then he'd go and start to pick them up. And he did it repeatedly. So I'm just watching and noticing. And I finally started to focus on the cards that were going out. And he was not picking them up in order of like as far as how close they were to him. He was picking them up in order of how they came out of the deck. And I was like, this kid is a genius. Like, we need to go to Vegas right now.
The oven off again. So I had to
he is so smart and intelligent, and he actually moved to Michigan with his mom. He moved out of Colorado to Michigan, and they have better stations up there to help him. And he's come leaps and bounds, and he's doing really, really good so far as I've heard. So I think he's like 23 right now, but I haven't seen him since he was, I think, like freaking 4 or 5. Holy shnikes, it's been a while. Yeah, it's amazing what they can do and how intelligent they are.
Most definite. Like my son can
definitely
navigate my
back to visit though. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna see
navigate your what?
Now I'm gonna try to see if I can fix the connection. I think maybe my connection's what's screwing it up. Right when we started, I had a power surge, so that might be what's messing everything up.
Oh shit! Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I said, that's probably mine. That's probably me. So I'll try to be back, and if not,
just reset your internet box real quick.
I'll do that. Thank you. I am technologically a numbskull. So Tessa, it was lovely to meet you. If I don't make it back, I will try.
Reset.
It has a few.
Should be good.
Gotcha. Reset the modem. Right.
But
see you soon.
It was so nice to meet you, Cass.
I agree. It was very lovely to meet you too.
Mr. Eldon,
I just wish we could have had a real conversation.
How you doing, Tessa?
I know. Doing wonderful. I've had a wonderful group of fellas to hang out with. Pretty sure I was a guy in my past life because I've always hung out with guys, and all the girls were like, "Oh, she's a hoe. She just hangs out with the guys." But girls are drama. Yep. I'm not.
Yeah, you notice
so I'll hang out with these guys.
He doesn't even smile. I mean, what's going on, Brian? You're not smiling, man.
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good.
This shit is serious.
Yeah. Cass leaving kind of bummed me out, you know, and he's my buddy. I'm kind of sad now.
Oh, well, gee, thanks, man.
Welcome to the show, Older Than Dirt.
He didn't say Eldon, he said Cass. Oh.
It's been a few weeks since you've been
on the show. I was about to say in the chat room, but I'll just say it here once it comes back. Okay, so Eldon, he wasn't saying you, he said Cass, but it's Cass's internet connection. He said he had a power surge right before that, so that makes sense.
No, it's on you.
Like I'm more moving normally. I'm like, whoa, check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about autism, and oh my gosh, these kids are so smart. It's insane.
Yeah, they are, and you know they're a wonderful, wonderful group of kids, and you know.
So what?
I'm sure Brian's already told you we're trying to get an event for that effort going on. So it's still working in the back door of things. So, but hopefully we can get something positive for those folks. Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
Yes.
So
we shall work something out because I have a lot of followers, not only on my page, but my Four Corners Paranormal and my We Are Paradox Media page. So yeah, I'd love to share that link with everybody because that is a good thing to do. That is something that will help your soul and help you to move forward in life because that is a precious thing. I'm so glad you're doing that, Brian and Eldon. That's awesome.
Most definitely.
So Tessa, what?
Yeah. Tessa, what?
Am I still buffering?
Yes, you are majorly buffering, honey.
What? Well,
Did we lose Tessa's audio or what?
Here and replug it and see what happens, but then I could be gone for a little.
Well, I think we lost her.
I think so too.
Damn it.
What's going on here, man? Are we killing everybody's connection or what?
I guess so, man.
So that was Cass's problem. He was losing some kind of connection, huh?
No, Cass was all good. He thought he might have been the problem to Tessa.
Maybe it's fixed.
He tried to.
Why is everyone buffering? Everyone was buffering at the same time. It must be me. Why is everyone buffering? Yeah.
It's you, Tessa.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
So,
there she goes.
You're absolutely right, sir. I let the cat out of the bag and made the announcement.
Oh, wow. That's
something right before you hopped on.
Yeah, that's something we haven't really put out there to the crowd yet. So, but that's okay. That's okay. It's certainly work in progress, and it's going to be for some time before we can get it ironed out and get the logistics put together for it. But it's definitely on the table.
Mr. Laverty, how you doing, brother?
Hey, check it out, Brian John in the house.
So, older than dirt, why have you not been a guest on our podcast lately, man?
Because I'm not a guest on this podcast, bro. Why would I want to be a guest?
My co-host.
You know, things have been really, really crazy, man. It's been pretty busy for me, you know, with a lot of things going on here on the personal side of things for me, getting things ironed out. Fortunately, we got some good news today, which kind of took care of a lot of that. And so I'm hoping that's going to free me up a bit to be a little bit more available than I have been. My apologies, man. It's been really crazy.
Oh, man, there ain't no apologies. Me and Big Cass, man, we've been handling business.
That's good, man. And, you know, I knew with Cass, we got the right man for the right job, man.
Oh, me and Cass go together like peanut butter and ketchup.
Oh, yeah. He's a good guy. I love Cass to death, man. He's a good fellow, got a big heart, man. And, you know, he does some really good work, man.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, what should we talk about, El?
Oh, man, you know, I guess the sky's the limit at this point, man. I don't know. UFOs, maybe? Aliens? What do you think? We talk about Bigfoot, you know, and, you know, your cousin, Brian. So we could talk about him for a little bit if you want. I guess we could pretty much talk about anything you want, or we can just go with what the audience wants to talk about.
Yeah, audience. If the audience has any questions for us, comments, or concerns, let us know. Until then, please enjoy the elevator music.
No, man. Don't quit your daytime job, bro. Don't quit your daytime job. All right, that's just not cool.
Hey, you know my daytime job is being a stripper, right?
You had to give me that picture, Brian. Bro, I just got to eat, man. I mean, give me a break, okay? Would you?
Hey, are you fat shaming me on our podcast?
I would never do that, man. You know, older than dirt here.
Shook hands with Jesus the zombie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on, Eldon. You gotta agree with me on that one.
No, I really don't have to, bro.
Find out about it. Oh, I really did it. No, you didn't. Stop lying.
So, what do you think about Bigfoot, man? How many races do you think are actually out there? And is he all over the world?
Honestly, I've never seen a Bigfoot. Honestly, I've never heard of Bigfoot. So I really couldn't say as to how many races there would be naturally. However, if I was to give a guess on it, which is all it would be a guess. It wouldn't be anything, that I would know personally. But based on everything that I've heard, everything that I've seen as far as the shows and whatever have you, I would probably guess if there was a Bigfoot, there'd be as many races with Bigfoot as there are humans, really.
You want to know something really fascinating? I live in Spokane, right?
No, you don't.
And I think it's 60 miles or so north. Is Colville, Washington. And that is where a lot of the Bigfoot sightings here in Washington have been.
We see a lot of lizard sightings down here in Arizona, just so you know.
And in Colorado, too.
You're still majorly delayed.
Yeah, I'm burning some Palo Santo. I don't know what the deal is.
Too bad.
I think it's the Colorado Airwaves.
I think it's the three-party thing. No, I think it's actually the three-party thing. So I'm not really into the gangbang scene. I'm just kidding. But I'm glad you guys are both here because Eldon, I haven't been able to see your face. Man, I hope you're doing good.
I'm great.
Arizona.
I'm great. It's starting to try to warm up down here a little bit. Us Arizonans, man, it snivels 70 degrees and we're freezing. So,
You fucking do it. Now take my card off. Now. Take it off. Now.
Who said that?
Wow, somebody's a little angry.
Who's that?
If you don't take it off.
That would be my neighbor.
Is that like your roomie, Brian?
Oh, no.
If you don't take it off, I'll make you take it all off.
I know. That sounded
Every
a little
single strand of
sexual.
clothing. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just like, wow, that's pretty deep.
Melissa says, "Hi, Eldon."
All right, so where were we? I'm sorry.
We are talking about Bigfoot and how many races that you think are around the world.
I would say 8 to 12.
Well, like I said, about as many races as there are
That's
humans.
my bet.
Well, my bet is Eldon is older than Jesus Christ himself.
Hey, now,
No way.
I wouldn't put those two names in the same sentence together, bro. I'm not. Let's not do that.
You're kind of looking greenish over there, man. You're here pretty soon.
Well, that's because you don't know what planet I'm from, man. I don't want to let that out of the I don't want to let that out of the bag,
So, Eldon, something we haven't talked about on ShadowZone at all is what is your paranormal background, sir?
Let's see, in 12 years, I've been, well, going on 13, I guess now.
No, we're talking about from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning.
Well, in the beginning, I guess it started almost a little over 40 years ago. I was 7 back in Illinois when I had my first experience. Well, I guess I'll date myself. That was back in 1978. And back then, you know, when you experienced stuff, it was not one of those things that you really talked about. You didn't share it. You didn't bring it out because they thought you were crazy, wanted to give you medication. You know, next thing you know, you got a prescription for phenobarbital and Dilantin and all kinds of stupid stuff. And it's just not a good thing to talk about back then. So being 7 years old, I didn't talk about it. I wasn't able to, and it was pretty devastating to me because what I was experiencing there, which I was seeing apparitions in the house, seeing shadows and things and such. And I was in a religion at that time. I had the church right across the street, and the preacher man, he lived right next door in a house right next to the church. And so I was pretty active with that. And what I saw went completely against what my teachings were from the church. And it told me basically that what the church was telling me was not entirely accurate. And it's pretty hard for a 7-year-old to swallow. And so that just kind of carried with me my whole life. And then my dad, he passed away just when I was 18 years old. And we started experiencing a lot of heavy stuff. And this brought back some memories from when I was 7 and made me start thinking about things again. And of course, that all kind of went away and dissipated. And during my career as a truck driver, I had an experience one night in Florida. I was coming across Alligator Alley one night on a multiple pickup load. And I actually had an apparition appear in my passenger seat and rode with me for about an hour and a half and had a conversation with me. And after thinking I was going crazy, the things that he had told me a couple years later come to pass to be true. And it really, really hit home at that point. And that was when I decided to start really looking into this to figure out what was going on, because it was far beyond my understanding and I was very puzzled and I wanted answers. And that's pretty much what got me into this.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Very nice indeed.
Indeed. You're using my word. No, I'm just kidding.
What are your thoughts on the extraterrestrials?
When are my what's on the extraterrestrials?
Hey, hang on just a minute, guys. 1 second. I want to answer Melissa here in our audience. So, Melissa, I didn't live in Florida at the time. I was an over-the-road truck driver, and I was actually picking up a load in Florida. The load was actually going out to California at the time, but I've never lived in Florida.
I did. What was your question, Brian?
What are your thoughts on extraterrestrials and UFOs?
Okay, so I've actually caught, not intentionally, just on accident, because I'm obsessed with the sky ever since my mom died when I was 5, almost 6. So when the sky is beautiful, I'll take pictures of it because I'm like, my mom painted that. And I think it was in 2014, could be 2016. I was taking some pictures, and one I called the Conference on the Sky because there's a red, blue, white, yellow, orange, green, different lights on the top of the sky right next to the full moon. And then we were looking for Perseids that night, but it was a cloud cover. So I'm just snapping pictures and looking at this weird blue glow that came off the moon. I've never seen that before. It was like an electric blue glow coming off onto the clouds and everything. So that to me was very intriguing. And so I'm taking pictures, and then as a photographer, you go back through, you look at your pictures, you try to get rid of the junk so you don't have to do more work later. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, there's dots of different UFOs along the cloud lines, etc. So I got those pictures. So 2012, I believe, was the first year I ever saw a UFO. First year I was taking my daughters back from the motorcycle rally because it was time for the adults to come out to play. So I had to take my kids away. And my kids are telling me, Mom, there's this light in the sky that keeps following us. And I'm like, yeah, that's just the sun. And they're like, no, Mom, that's not just the sun. There's something else following us. And so I'm like, I can't look right now because I'm driving, but as soon as I get to the stop sign, I'll get out and look. And so when I get to the stop sign, I do stop, I get out and I look, and Nova is like, Mom, what are you doing? I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I'm like, I'm getting out to look because I can't be in the driver's seat and trying to see what this is. I have to get out and look. And there was an orb in the sky about 50 feet, and it looked like it had liquid fire flowing through it. I'm pregnant at the time, and then in September I had my son. A month later I'm breastfeeding him, and I'm thinking about Dylan Redwine because he went missing in November. So there's December, September. 2 months later, I'm sitting there thinking about them, like, I hope he's found safe, I hope he's warm, I hope he's safe and has food wherever he's at. And then all of a sudden this orb, and it's huge. It's like, well, to me it's huge. As far as an orb goes, it's like a 3 by 4 foot in circumference sort of orb going on, and it looks like there's liquid fire flowing through it, and it's just going through or along the fence line at a slow walking pace. And so I detached the son from the breast, lay him down, run over to the sliding glass door. At first I slid it open and I stepped out 1 foot. And then I step back in and close the door because I don't know what this thing's intention is. Am I going to run out there and it's going to zap me and then I'm no longer here for my kids? So instead I call my husband and my other 2 kids over, and I'm like, hey, you guys, you got to see this. And everybody runs over. Everybody sees the same thing except for Vern. Vern sees a bat flapping its wings at a very slow rate of speed. And it's a giant bat and it's glowing inside this orb. So I think that was like their shield. I don't know what it was, but we saw what it was. He couldn't.
Huh. That is very interesting. You know, I can honestly say I've never.
I have another story too.
But I have seen aliens. I said I've never seen a UFO, but I have seen an alien.
Yeah, I at first accidentally caught them on camera because my eyesight's not perfect, so that's why I have these. And had I had these at the time, I could have probably seen them, but I'm just like snapping pictures and zooming in and like, what the hell is that? So I'll share those with you later, or you can look on my website, fourcornersparanormalinvestigations.com, and check those pictures out. And I also have ones where lasers are coming down from the sky at different directions. It's like pretty interesting. So when I was working security, I used to talk to my kids, say goodnight every night, and we'd talk about their dreams from the night before because dreams are very interesting and it's cool to kind of retain and remember them. And the kids were like, okay, first it was Lily. And Lily's like, Mom, last night I had a dream about a UFO. And the UFO was like right out here, like right here next to my studio. And she said, so we went outside and we walked into the UFO and we walked up this ramp. And as soon as we got in there, it started to raise up and Floyd jumped out. And so I jumped out. And then she's like, I remember Floyd was running and he tripped. And he said, I didn't trip, you tripped. And so they argued back and forth. And then Lily laughed and she said, remember when you kicked that alien in the head? And he laughed too. So they're laughing, remembering something. And then they went back to the story. And so I'm like, that is not a dream. That is a shared experience.
That is
That to me was
bone
crazy.
right there. So the first alien I ever
Yeah,
saw was actually Betty White.
really.
Yeah, I believe Betty White was a reptilian.
Hmm. So I'm going to share this real quick. Actually, and you might be able to explain this, Tessa. Let me see if I can do this here.
Whoa.
And we'll share that. So I am on the Four Corners Paranormal Investigations website, and I am in the section for the
Okay.
photo gallery. Are these the photographs you're talking about?
Oh yes. Those are some of them.
So
Yes.
what
The
are we
very first
looking
one
at
is
right
a
here?
close up of the moon. Okay, so do you see the dot right at the end of that little streak through the sky?
Let's see here.
So you see that streak through the sky, then you see that little dot. And then if you zoom in closer, you will see different dots throughout the sky. But yeah, that's the number
Right.
one is right there, right by the streak.
Yeah.
He like went all the way down, then he popped back up a little bit, and there he is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I wish I could be on there because I could share. Yeah, I see him, and then it's
Yep.
gone over to the side more, and it's a different
Yeah.
color. See?
Yeah. It's just kind of moving
Isn't
in
that freaky?
odd.
It's freaking
Yeah, it's
me
moving
out.
in odd directions. So, what was the time frame between each of these photographs? Do you remember?
So I think this was within a parameter of about 3 hours, perhaps. So we planned this whole thing because we're looking to see the Perseids, whatever, some sort of shooting star sort of thing. So we put a lot of cushions and blankets and everything in the back of the truck. All the kids cuddled up there, and then I'm sitting there taking pictures. Dude, I need to find the conference in the sky. I will find that for you and share that because that one, seriously, it's a ring on the top of a cloud, and you can see each color going in a circle. It's kind of like some sort of witchcraft circle or something. It's like they're
Wow.
having a conference, so that's why I called it that. It's pretty intriguing.
That's
but
crazy.
I don't know. I always believed in it because my dad, he was the alien, aka UFO side of me. My mom was the paranormal spiritual side. She died when I was 5, almost 6. And my dad believed in it, so therefore I did because I love my dad. He's so smart. He should have won Jeopardy like a million times. But he was the alien side of me. And I remember as a kid, we saw this UFO approaching us on this highway in Arkansas somewhere. And we pulled over, and there were so many cars pulled over. Everybody's like looking up, like, oh. And then it got closer, and then everybody realized that was not a UFO. That was some motherfucking helicopters. Motherfuckers. But he had seen things before, so I always believed. But yeah, it's pretty intriguing. I'm trying to fast scroll through my shit so I can share it with you real quick. I don't even know how to share it on here, but I could share it in Facebook maybe, and one of you can share it. But yeah, that conference in the sky picture is my favorite. That's my favorite picture by far. Because it just shows intelligence, and they're sitting in a circle and they're communicating, even though they don't have to be in a circle. It just seems like, okay, teamwork makes the dream work. Let's make this happen. And then they separate. When in reality, at the end, they were kind of just tucked around. If you look, there's a picture that looks like Mr. Garcia, and there's little lights tucked around the cloud edges. If you zoom in, you see these single person crafts. So it's a single person craft with a little, slingy thing, and then rockets on the side. And every time they move in direction, they're moving a different direction. So it's pretty intriguing how that worked out too, as far as those pictures go.
That's awesome. I wish I should say I hope that one day I'll be able to see something like that. Oh my God.
know. But like as far as that goes, like you never know. It could be in your very own backyard. And I spend mostly in the summertime and when it's warm enough, a lot of time on my park bench or out in the front or backyard, just looking up at the sky because it's so beautiful. So maybe perhaps like doing that, you can check it out, like see what's going on actually.
The problem with Spokane is,
Where did Elton go?
I have no clue. He just kind of disappeared. I see Ghosting Paranormal says, hey, how's it going? What up, ghosties?
Hey, what up? Bring it on, ghosters.
Ghosting Paranormal is definitely on my top 10 favorite paranormal teams. These guys are pretty awesome. So what about folklore, Miss Tessa?
All right, okay, so have you heard about the Kentucky Goblin?
Kentucky Goblin? No, I have not. Please explain.
All right, so this thing looks a lot like a gremlin mixed with Stitch.
So a cross between Alden and Cass.
Well, anyways, okay, so I don't know, it was really crazy. One night I had a dream, and I'm always like right in one section when I sleep. I don't roll around, move around, whatever. I'm in a section, I'm tucked in, I'm all good. But this night I had a dream that my bed was tilting. And so I started sliding down my bed. There was a hole in the floor filled with fire and brimstone. The only thing I could do to keep from falling in there was to put my thumbs and forefingers around this baseboard so I didn't fall in. If I did fall in, I'd still have a grip on something, and I could smell the sulfur, fire, and brimstone. It was really, really bad. And then I woke up and I was at the end of my bed, which was very strange for me because I always stay in place. So I wake up, I'm at the end of my bed, and I'm like, that was such a fucking crazy dream. Yes, I did have potty mouth as a kid. My dad was very proud of it. But I'm like, that was such a fucking crazy dream. And I'm sitting there, laying there, thinking about it, and then all of a sudden I smell smoke again. I'm like, okay, so that's not the same sort of smoke. It was more like a cherry tobacco smoke. It was very sweet. And I'm like, that's not sulfur smoke. That's not from my dream. And my grandparents don't smoke that. I can, oh man. It's a velveteen. Velveteen tobacco is what my grandparents used to smoke, which was very sweet too. But this was different. And so I look over to my doorway, which is like this doorway here. And my doorway did not have a door. It had yellow lace curtains tied back on the sides. And there was a tall man standing there just staring at me. And then he took a puff of a cigar. And when he did that, his whole face and the top of what he was wearing lit up. So I could tell he was wearing like a 3-piece suit. Like he had a bow tie, white shirt, black jacket, hair slicked back. The most handsome man I've ever seen in my whole lifetime. Still today, even above Brad Pitt and George Clooney, whoever the hell you want to say. But I knew who he was. I knew immediately. And I didn't even say it out loud because I did not have the courage to. I just said it in my head. And these are the words my father told me because I had night terrors all the time. God stands before me, Satan fall behind. So I said it in my head again. God stands before me, Satan fall behind. God stands before me, Satan fall behind. And just like that, I was knocked out. And I did not have to deal with this guy. So, okay. Rewinding, when I was 5, almost 6 years old, and my little brother was half a year or whatever year younger than me. All the rest of my siblings from a different dad older than me. We all separated different ways. I don't know. I told him about my dream. We finally reconciled, and had some sort of family reunion, and we're all telling ghost stories, and I told them mine, and my dad turned white as a sheet, and he's like, I can't believe you're saying this right now, because your mother told me the exact same story, except for he was right beside her bed. And she had a lengthy conversation with him, and perhaps that's what happened to her. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. It's pretty intriguing. The devil is very powerful. Okay, so the Kentucky Goblin. That is where it all began. I'm sitting there in my bed, blankets all up here in my armpits, all comfy cozy, ready to go to sleep, and then I hear this chattering. Like, I can't understand what they're saying. So I crawl down my bed to the window at the foot of my bed, and I'm peeking out. Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? Who said that? And it's a bunch of little fucking gremlin-looking dudes jumping around a fucking campfire with spears, staffs, different weapons like swords, whatever, dancing and chanting around a campfire. And I swear to God, it was like at least like 5 minutes, 1 to 5 minutes, looking at them that they realized that I was watching, and they stopped all at once, and they turned and looked at my window, and they all scampered. And okay, so as soon as they stopped, I threw myself back in bed and covered up with my shield, which is the sheet and blanket. And they came scampering back, and I could hear them clawing up the side of the building to my window. Claw, 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 window grip. Looking through. Looking around, using their certain language, looking around for me, but nope. I'm calm as can be. I'm under my blanket. And that's what made me feel really bad, because my brother was not so calm. And so after that, they were chasing him through the household every night. So every night I would be awakened by my little brother running through the house. They're after me. They're after me. Somebody help me. They're after me. So he'd run past my door to the living room, back past my door to the kitchen, back past my door. Yeah, this was really, really bad. So I think it was the final night that this happened. And he did that and woke us all up. We're like, what? Trying to encumber ourselves and get out of bed. We get up, go out there. Holy fuck. So by the time I get out there, he's already ran into the kitchen, hit the outside door. So there's an outside door, then there's a major step that is like 1.5 to 2 feet. And then you go to the other door, which leads out to the bathroom and the backyard and the shed and everything. But he'd hit that door, come back. Before he hit the door, I came out, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, every night, what the fuck is he doing? And he came back, and he fell down. My grandparents captured him. Each of them took their arm under his arm. So on each side, they took him under his arm, and they held him. I swear to God. And I hate saying this because I do love my grandparents, but I know what they were doing. They held him for this thing to capture him. Ever since then, he has done so many bad things. He can't help it. He just does bad things. Ever since then, I haven't seen anything. I haven't been woken up. I've been sleeping really good. I don't know. It's really, really weird.
That is weird. That's very weird.
And people call them kobolds, and they look a lot like kobolds, except for they don't have the glowing eyes. They look like gremlins, but the ears are a little shorter, but they don't have the glowing eyes like they call kobolds. And then I've seen kobolds looking like little gnomey people. Not that. More like Kentucky Goblin, but without the glowing eyes.
Gotcha. Well, Raymond says, so I had this reoccurring dream as a kid. I followed a man down a dirt road where this UFO lands in front of us. 3 giant purple aliens step out and stare at us. The man walks closer to them. The middle alien touches him with a finger, causing the man to fall into pieces. Wow.
Ooh, maybe they're reintegrating him. Like they touch him and he goes into the ship or something.
With you having reoccurring dreams like that as a kid, dude, you actually might have come in contact with a UFO. Ghosting says we filming tonight, going live on Facebook, Queen of Gypsies, Spirit Box, Ruby Mitchell, 30 minutes. Right on, guys. Raymond says, bless you, Brian. Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I wish I was there.
Shared on Twitter. And the Paranormal Nightcrawler says, got a reboot and I'll try to get back. Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Isn't that weird lately? And there was that news about a solar flare that has affected a lot of our internet. So maybe that's what's going on tonight. Like I said, tonight, like when I turn my computer on, it usually goes to the home screen, but it was just black forever. And I was like, what the fuck? So I did Control Alt Delete a couple times and it finally worked, but I don't know. I think solar flares or something is messing with us. Seriously. I don't know. What do you think? Brian?
Raymond, that's what I figured too. It lasted over a year after we moved to Kentucky from Ohio.
It lasted over a year after we moved to Kentucky from Ohio.
Man, that's powerful.
That's where my grandpa comes from, is Kentucky. So I'm just like,
you should hit me up on Messenger, Raymond, under Brian James, and we can talk about that further, actually. Or if you would like to come on the podcast, shoot me a message on Messenger, and I'll bring you on, and we can discuss that further, buddy. So,
I can probably bring him on while I go hit the head because I really have to pee.
Well, all right, you go, girl.
I just heard another voice. Is somebody else on here with us? Did you hear somebody else on with us? Because I heard another voice just then for a second. He said, I'd rather be. Did you hear that?
I didn't.
That was really weird. I heard a man say, I'd rather be.
I have a squawky son, so.
That was weird.
Yeah, little guy is noisy and happy.
No worries.
So, what do you do for your podcast, Tessa?
I try to look for people in the paranormal as well as UFOs and cryptids because I've experienced all of those. So whoever's available, that's what I'll do. And I don't know, my Psychic Saturday, Chris Garcia, was saying to me recently that people are like, oh, well, it's the same old thing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? Are you talking about Chris being on or what I'm doing? Because it is pretty random. But it's not like it used to be. You know, things have been crazy, so I can't put a lot of time into it like I used to because I'm busy building fires and keeping the household and putting kids to school and so on and so forth. You know, shit is really crazy right now, but hey, I'm maintaining. I'm staying strong. I've had a couple breakdowns, but I don't know. Trying to do it to it. It's pretty intricate as far as life goes, and you just gotta stay strong, keep swimming, because if you go belly up, then you're really fucked. Seriously.
Right. See, I usually prefer to lay on my back instead of going belly up.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing but different.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm not belly up. I was just kidding. I was just being comfortable. But yeah, the most recent one we had was from a Navajo family whose husband, aka slash stepfather, had passed away in a car accident, and things didn't seem to line up, but actually they did, according to what I heard.
Ann. Sorry.
Hello.
Hi, Ann. Sorry, go ahead, Tim.
But yeah, I guess he like swerved, missed his car, and he hit a bush, and it flipped his vehicle several times. When they found him, the top of the vehicle was smashed down on him, and what I felt was the chest compression, like when the steering wheel hits your chest. That's what I felt, and I don't know. I don't think he was expecting it. I think there was other things. And like before that, there was a lot of dark magic, not just Navajo, but some Louisiana, like hoodoo voodoo sort of shit. Some sort of outsider casting some sort of spell on him. So that's where things are very encumbrant and very weird for this family. So we're trying to figure it out, but at the same time, we're trying to keep our distance because we know what COVID is. But I'm kind of not scared. Like, I had Omicron, and so I'm like, that's the most mutated portion of the virus. I should be okay. And then my friend, she didn't have that one. She had another one, so she's like, I'm not so sure. Everybody else is just like, they don't want to come along. They're against it.
You know, I'm telling you what. There is one thing I will never mess with in my life. And there's one state that I will never go to in my life, and that is Louisiana. I do not do the voodoo, that hoodoo, the sheep.
Louisiana, it's beautiful.
That and nobody really knows this, but I'm kind of afraid of alligators. Stems from a nightmare I had as a kid of me going to pet an alligator and him biting my head off and me running around without a head.
Oh shit, that would suck.
Right.
Seriously. I think I had some sort of hoodoo dreams, but it wasn't that bad where my head was missing, but I don't know, it has been like that kind of too. I don't know.
So what is some folklore up around Colorado where you live?
It's not really folklore, it's Native American lore. So Utes, Navajos, etc. being chased out of their area. So really not Navajo. Navajos, I love and respect, went to school with them, and Utes, but got mostly along with the Navajos, which are known as Dene. So please take Navajo out of your head. Remember Dene. They are the Dene people. But Utes, oh my God. I only had one Ute friend that was nice to me. Otherwise, they're so fucking hateful. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're the most fucking racist people ever. Hello, Mr. Eldon.
Back again.
Damn it, I got rid of your ass.
What do you want? We'll grab pictures of them if you want.
Well, maybe. Oh, shit. I think. Oh, there he is again.
Eldon.
Yeah.
What?
That was hardcore for me. And I don't know. I had one Ute friend. Her name was Danita Hart. And then later on, she changed her name because she didn't want to be clumped into that whole group. But yeah, generally the Navajo, aka the Dene, were very pure, very happy, very soulful people. The Utes, oh my gosh, they were mad at me because I was a mixed breed. Like, I'm Cherokee and Irish is my main breed. Then I have German Mediterranean and those other little other things. But those are my main two breeds. And they're like, oh well, you're just a half breed or whatever. I'm like, what? I don't know. Utes are very, very mean, and they gave the Dene the name of Navajo because Navajo means thief. Dene is their actual name. So if you ever meet a Navajo person, be sure to be respectful and call them Dene and not Navajo, because Navajo is a name given to them by the Utes.
Oh, Raymond says, every time I go to Louisiana, I send out a truce saying that I am only visiting with my family.
I'll be back in 4 minutes.
That's
Right.
very
You want to say that again, Brian? I don't think we heard you, man.
Hey, you go ahead and read it.
Nah, you go ahead. I think we can.
Oh,
I think we read it.
I would, but it's not up there anymore. Yeah, I think you closed it because I can't read it anymore. Oh, every time I go to Louisiana, I send out a truce saying that I am only visiting with my family. Yeah, I'm not here to disrespect. I have full respect, but I'm here to visit my family. And that's very important. Introduce yourself. Hello, my name is Brian, or my name is Eldon. I'm here, full respect, and I'm just here to whatever your thing is. And they'll respect you for introducing yourself, of all things. But yeah, it's very important to introduce yourself for sure.
So, Eldon, what's some folklore up in Arizona, man?
What's some what?
What's some folklore in Arizona?
Well, we got stories of the Chupacabra down here. We've got the Skinwalker. We've also got Bigfoot sightings.
All right, explain to me what a chupacabra is again.
And my understanding is kind of like the cross between, I don't know, hairless coyote wolf type creature.
Huh.
They
Is
got
it
the
jackalope?
fanglies that suck blood.
What's that, Brian?
Is the jackalope real?
God damn it.
Is the jackalope real?
No. A jackalope is Jack Rabbit.
Well,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Eldon.
I've never seen the carcass myself, but there are those that claim to actually have the carcass of what they say is a jackalope, which is a jackrabbit with antlers. Predominantly, the story is told in and around Wyoming area.
Oh, gotcha. So, with all three of us being parents, I gotta know, what's the meanest trick you guys have ever played on your kids?
The meanest trick?
Yeah. See, for me, I help my niece and nephew, so they're like my kids.
I remember the one time my girls, most kids don't like to go to the doctor and get shots. And I remember this day I had to take the two girls. I had to take the two girls down to the doctor to get their shots for school. And I think the dirtiest trick I ever played on them on that was, hey guys, let's go to McDonald's. And ended up pulling into the parking lot of the doctor's office. Like, oh, I thought we were going to McDonald's. I said, well, we are. We got to stop here first.
I once sent my
shots first. Brian, sorry.
I once sent my niece out to the garage and told her that I needed her to find my blinker fluid. 30 minutes in the garage looking for blinker fluid.
That's like the styrofoam gas, right?
Or the striped chain or the sky hook.
I like the cordless extension cord with a ground wire.
What's that?
I like the cordless extension cord with a ground wire.
I think we lost Tess again.
No, I'm still here. I'm just like looking for that picture I was talking about. It's here.
So, Elvin, you got any questions?
Do I have any what?
Do you have any questions?
No, man. Heck, golly. I think a lot of the questions was asked early on that I would have had, which is good, man.
To like cope with forcing other subjects in there.
So I think we talked about it once before. We had our broadcast with Tessa here a while back, and we was talking about it, some locations to investigate, and I had brought up some locations in Colorado I think would be pretty cool. I mean, I think going to the Stanley Hotel would be a definite interest in, where I'd like to go there. But I also want to take a look at the area and around where Doc Holliday spent his last days and the cemetery that he is.
Oh my gosh, that guy.
Somewhere buried at.
With a cigarette, I'm gonna go take off my work shirt and start cleaning for tomorrow night.
I don't know about the Stanley Hotel, man. I think it's a bunch of hype. I think it got a bunch of hype.
Hyped up, but it's still got some things behind the scenes.
I'm just gonna ask you.
Who is that talking in the background? That's kind of distracting. What?
Right. Don't.
So, what's your opinion on it, Eldon?
No, I think there's a lot to do
On
with
which
it,
one?
and it's not a lot, but like the owner of the hotel and the person that was working on it that fell to his death, and there's a couple other people, like that girl that was kicked out from the other underside of the hotel, and then she froze to death. Like, I feel so bad for that girl, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are some hauntings, but it's not like they said, not like the Shining. It's not like that, really. It's something different, something more perverse.
Hey, Taryn, we're talking about the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. The one that inspired the movie The Shining from Stephen King.
Which, by the way, the first hour of it was a good movie, but gosh, damn, did that movie drag on.
Yeah, but they couldn't have picked a better guy to play the part.
Yeah.
Nicholson.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a bucket list item, that's for sure. The book is better. Yeah, Raymond, I agree.
Let's get on the subjects of books versus movies.
Books win hands down, dude. I mean, the books are usually a lot better. I don't think I've seen one yet where the movie has been better than the book. I think the book is always better than the movie, man. And that's just what I've seen. I mean, there could be some out there I haven't seen yet that is the other way around, but everyone I've seen so far, the book is definitely way better than the movie.
The movie that I've seen closest to a book was actually Stephen King's Pet Sematary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a reader. I hate reading. It gives me headaches. The words are too small. And, well, there's, big words that I can't pronounce, but...
Yeah, Taryn, a lot of people with that particular condition, you're right, they like the visual on it. And, and that's okay, too. But for those people that... read the books, I think a lot of times they find the books to be better than the movies.
Actually, in a sense where the movie was better than the book, it was it.
Okay, well, I never read the book, so on that one, so I can't really comment to
Let me tell you what, man. That book was like 800 fucking pages.
Yikes.
Yeah, that book was thick, dude.
Mm-mm. That's crazy.
So what is your favorite book of all time, Eldon?
You know, I don't know, man. There's a lot of them out there that were pretty good. But honestly, I really personally myself, I like the Harry Potter books. I think those are my most favorite. I think as far as time and enjoying reading.
You know, people are gonna look at me kind of weird for this one, but the book on the Night Stalker was one of my two favorites. The other favorite book of mine to read was actually the Satanic Bible. You know, not that I'm a Satanist or I have anything against Satanists, but the book was really interesting and informative.
Well, it does have a lot of interesting points
and I
to
heard
it.
like
I'm not a Satan worshiper by any means, but I've read the book myself, and you know it adds an interesting twist to things. But I've also read the Quran. I've read the Book of Mormon. I've read of course the Holy Bible. I figure getting different points of view on the subject is good. I can't say that I really agree with a single one. I think they all have good points, but yet again, I see inaccuracies with my own personal life, from all of them as well. So I it's kind of hard to say with that. It's, then again, it's no secret. I mean, I'm not a religious individual because I don't really believe in religion. Not that I don't believe in God or Jesus or anything like that. I don't practice religion. I don't believe in it.
Another really good book to read.
I'm raising my hand so I can be next.
No. Okay, go ahead, Taryn.
Okay, so no, Tessa TNT. So from the time my mom died to the time I was 16 years old. It's okay, don't apologize. I was always seeking out religion, and even when I went into the military, I had every religion at the tips of my fingers. So I was going to every church that I could to figure out the truth and figure out what their message was. And I feel like everybody has a little touch of the truth, and if we all just came together, we can actually get somewhere. But we're all just like knocking heads, like we're the firstborn, we're the best, we're the this, that, whatever. If we just came together as religions, we can get somewhere, but we're too busy fighting over who's the true religion. I think everybody has a little piece of the truth, and I use everything I learned from everyone in my life, especially from my brother Jesus Christ, because he's amazing and he did so much for us. But yeah, I just try to be true to others in my life. Do unto others as you would have done to you, basically, really.
I know that. I think that kind of falls on the karma aspect.
Well, it's like Taryn just said. She says, and I'll put up here that she don't believe in organized religion, and it's I think that's a fact. And without really getting on the topic of religion, which I really don't believe in discussing anyway.
Yeah, me either.
I don't think that religion is one of those things that for me is something I have to follow.
What the hell is that?
You know what? I don't know. But I tell people that I find my religion by looking at my kids or going camping and being in the trees or whatever. Like, I find my religion all around me. I don't have to go to a church and be accepted as a fellowship or whatever. I don't need that because too many people look down on me when they're doing worse than I am. So I'd rather be doing my own thing, living my own life, and I find my God in my brother Jesus in the life around me. and I try to live my life the best I can as far as doing unto others and doing the best I can. I don't need to have an organized religion to feel happy and safe, etc. Like, I'm just doing my own thing, flying by the seat of my pants as usual.
Yeah, I never understood that. We're gonna be very sinful. From Sunday night all the way through Saturday night, and then Sunday morning we're gonna go to church and get saved. Kind of like your gangbangers killing each other Friday and Saturday night.
Ask for forgiveness.
Heading to church on Sunday. Yeah, exactly. I guess
sorry.
they have to go to church on Sunday.
Yeah, it's kind of like organized religion. You got a cheating drunk wife who does meth on the side Monday through Saturday, but on Sunday, man, she's in church with her nose so far up in the air that when it rains, she's gonna drown.
Like a turkey?
Organized religion is a joke, dude. But Taryn brings up a good point here. He believes that we have to be educated on every type of religion and belief, because when you deal with a private case, you have to know what to do if needed.
Exactly. You've got to know from their perspective what they're believing in. And
educate yourself.
Yeah, you have to know from their perspective as to how to handle that situation with them. That's why you have a set of questions to ask your clients and things. And unfortunately, their religious belief is one of them. So yeah, Taryn's got a very good point there.
Absolutely.
Well, I saw this thing just recently, and I don't know if you guys know the Foreman brothers. Do you know the Foreman brothers? So, anywho's, I came across a file that was their early years before they became whatever they're named now. But the Foreman brothers went in to see this lady, and she was not the most attractive person, whatever, but she decided to go on the direction of being in the presence of the Lord. So she's going to church every Sunday. She's living a good life. And some Satanist walked past her and said, I hope your God or your Lord is there for you now. And ever since then, she got raped by ghosts. She got abused by ghosts. Like, she got her head bashed in to one of her angel statues by a ghost. Like, this by no means is nothing to scoff about. Like, this poor lady was going through a lot. But luckily to the Foreman brothers, they were able to help her. And that's what amazed me. Like, it wasn't a priest from her church. It wasn't a Catholic priest. It was one of the Foreman brothers that actually helped her get through this. So that to me was pretty intense and intricate. Like, I don't know. That was very intriguing to me how that works. How does that work? I guess it has all to do with your faith and not fearing something and feeding it and whatnot. I don't know. That kind of makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, it's like, what?
Well, that's why we say that, make sure you're protected before going into locations. And protection doesn't necessarily have to be from what some believe to be God. It could be whatever it is that you believe in and have faith in. That's what you have to hold on to, and that's what you have to secure yourself with and keep that positive energy surrounding yourself with it. And that's what's going to protect you. It's your personal belief and your personal idealisms that really plays a part in that. And I don't think you have to be the priest of a church to be effective in giving that protection and that help.
You know what I find paranormal?
Yeah, I feel like she had faith and belief, but she was afraid. And that's what he told her. You cannot be afraid, because if you're afraid, you're going to feed the certain entity. So you can't be afraid. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the thing that broke the whole link. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
What I find paranormal is it is February, and I'm still finding this.
Still finding eggnog. I'm jealous.
Eggnog, man.
This is why I weigh as much as I weigh.
one of the other planets hasn't.
That and really good fast food.
One of the
So,
True
moons.
that.
Mr. Eldon,
Mr. Brian.
That's what I like watching. That's what I like about
in
watching.
all your years of investigating,
Mr. Eldon and Brian.
have either you or you, Tessa, ever run across a demonic spirit or an evil spirit?
Freeze to death, and the other side is
Demonic?
that you burn.
No.
So like if you stand,
Evil?
like how you stand facing the sun.
Evil is one of those terms that I have found that, depending on who you are, will determine the meaning of that. I've encountered malevolent spirits that are malevolent because they're a bit angry, but I don't think it's any different than us in the living either. It's if you get angry, you're going to do malevolent things, whether you're a spirit or you're living. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or anything like that. It just means that something's going on that's causing you to get angry. When that situation is taken care of, or whatever it is that's going on leaves that particular spirit, well, then that could change. So to say whether something is evil or bad or demonic, I personally don't think we have that many demonic haunts out there. I think there's a lot less than what's portrayed in the shows. I won't mention any names, but we've got one show that seems to be every place to go. They've got demonic activity, and
Ghost Adventures. Ghost Adventures. Excuse me.
I can tell you, I've been in some of those locations. I've been in some of those locations, and I have to disagree. So I'll give you one, for instance, was the Gila County Jail in Globe, Arizona. And you can look that up too. You can watch the episode. I was in the same exact jail cell for 3 hours that Aaron Goodwin was in. I've been through that whole jail overnight. And I can tell you that there's some things there that do get angry. Let's face it. They're ex-prisoners there. They're people that are, there for a reason. And would they be happy? No, probably not. Would they be a little angry? Probably. So evil, demonic, I doubt it. Bobby Mackey's is not a portal to hell. And I would believe that. I can't really comment personally on any experiences with Bobby Mackey's. I've never been there. But I can tell you I wouldn't doubt that at all.
What you believe when you go in there, really. Don't you think? Like what your belief is when you go in there could have a lot to do with what's happening.
Well,
because a lot of people go in there and they don't believe a certain thing, so they don't have the experiences. But some people go in there and they do believe, and they have tons of experiences.
Well, and like what Karen said, she said she'll say them, Dead Files and Ghost Adventures, and I think that's supposed to say Destination Fear. But I think sometimes the people in these shows carry things around with them too. Not that something would necessarily be at the location, but I think that they're bringing stuff with them, and they could be possibly picking that up on what they're finding too.
What about haunted items, though?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Haunted items?
That a haunted item can actually haunt a place?
Or people, yeah.
Haunted items, I guess that's a bit of a.
So, for example, we have this. Yeah.
It's that one there. I don't think that the item itself is haunted. I think that the items are a vessel that the spirits use. Does that make sense?
So,
well, it's kind of like a portal, or I think a lot of spirits attach to certain things, and therefore, if you take this certain thing into your house, you'll have this haunting because that past spirit had such an attachment to it that here they are in your own household. So I don't know. It's pretty intriguing how that happens and how people do hold on to that even in the afterlife. It's pretty intriguing.
Yeah, if they're attached to it, it becomes a vessel, and it's not the item itself that's haunted. It's the attachment around that particular item that becomes the problem.
Yes.
You know, I have a haunted item.
That's what I'm wondering. Are you playing music, Mr. Brian? What is it?
No, that would be my son's tablet.
Oh.
We're backed up by some theme music.
So you're talking about haunted items, Brian. Go ahead. Sorry I interrupted your thought process.
Now, I actually have a haunted item. And it's a religious item. And it's every Sunday I put them on and I turn into a complete asshole the entire day. They're my holy underwear.
Oh, no. Are you talking about garments?
Yes, I have a haunted pair of
Are you
holy
talking
underwear.
about Mormon garments or what? Your holy underwear? Because that's what I know holy underwear to be is Mormon garments. Okay, so Taryn Herper is saying Egyptian, like King Tut and pyramids and stuff. Cursed might be the wrong word, but she's talking about cursed items. And like when they open up these crypts, people are cursed. And it's been proven, like King Tut, when they opened up his crypt, one after the other, people were fallen due to the curse on this certain crypt. And I think what she's saying is true. And guess what? They keep doing it. They have not learned from their lesson. They're going to keep opening up these crypts and advertising and being cursed. But I'm still interested in your holy underwear. Even though it might be like a major skid mark or something. I don't know.
That is fantabulous.
Hey, is it okay if Dr. Ross spends the night tonight?
I don't care. So, you guys need to quit being so damn quiet. I'm tired of being the only one talking here. People, come on. Ask questions. Get rolling. Fire up.
You got all kinds of people talking over there, Brian. What are you jealous of?
Holy fuck. I've been talking this whole time. I feel like I'm talking too much. And you're like, oh, here he goes. Feeling guilty about not talking enough, and he's putting it on us. I've been talking my ass off, and so has Mr. Eldon. Right, Eldon? High five.
That's right.
So, Johan is taking a break for a minute there at the Axe Murder House.
No, but
Hey,
these curses like you were talking about, Brian. Oh, the Vasila Axe Murder House?
And if you're at the Axe Murder House, bud, send me a message on Messenger. I'll send you the link to the StreamYard, and you should hop on here and do, let's do an investigation together.
I'd love that.
Eldon.
But yeah, seriously, I don't know. I feel so bad for those girls that were just over there for a sleep night. Oh, we're gonna stay the night for tonight because it's too dark to walk home. We're too scared to walk home, so we'll stay the night here where we're safe. Yeah, you're real safe. Yeah, that preacher that came through town. I think that's who it was. I think it was the preacher that came through town and the other train hopper dude. I think they worked in unison. You could see the hack marks on the ceiling and everything. Like, I don't know. Yes, that roof kind of stopped him, but he still full-fledged knocked them in the head with that. Like, it's so sick and demented. How could you do that to little kids? And then he covered their heads so he didn't have to look at them.
I'll be right back, Brian.
God bless his soul.
So, what is the story of the Axe Murder House?
Okay, so from what I heard, they all went to church and they got out a little late. So the two little girls who would usually walk themselves home decided to stay the night. They didn't have phones back in the day, so I think they sent someone to tell them, but otherwise, they would have known, hey, it's a little late, so the kids are staying here tonight. So the two girls that were staying the night stayed downstairs. Everybody else was upstairs. So the other, family siblings were upstairs and the mom and dad. So I don't even think the people downstairs, like the two little girls, were first. I think they started upstairs, then they made them way downstairs. Did you hear about the bacon? That's the part that really disturbs me. Did you hear about the bacon? Eldon, Brian?
Nope, didn't hear about the bacon.
Oh, no. Okay, so this person had bacon with him, and he actually wrapped it to get himself off and then dropped it on the floor, in the lower floor where the guest girls were, which were the eldest girls, right? One of them was elder than the other girls, but yeah. He got himself off with a sleeve of bacon, dropped it on the floor with his genetic deposit, closed the curtains, and carried on. Like, this motherfucker was so sick. I'm pretty sure it was the traveling priest, and I'm pretty sure it was the car hopper too. I think they were a team. But yeah, that was, oh my gosh, I'm feeling kind of sick to it right now. But yeah, that was the most disturbing part of that series. Was look it up, Google it, whatever you need to do. The sleeve of bacon.
I think I'll take your word for it.
Than eating. Yeah.
Well,
it's pretty bad. And I'm like, what kind of sick motherfucker would do that? Well, that would be a sick motherfucker. Seriously.
Absolutely.
Like, to do that to children, and that's where the eldest children were in the downstairs flat was 12-year-old and I think but yeah, two girls, and of course he covered their heads because he felt guilty, because he knew he did wrong. Instead of being sociopathic or whatever the hell he was, he knew he did wrong, so he didn't want to see their eyes looking at him. He wanted to cover their face so he didn't have to look at it. Very sick.
Eldon, do you want to continue on with the podcast, or do you want to end it? Because I just got a call from my sister, and I got to hop off here and go pick her up.
Yeah, we're right at 2 hours. We can go ahead and end it at this point if you want, man. So I think we're good with that. What do you think, Tessa?
Okay. So Eldon's saying he doesn't want to hang out with me. Okay. Just kidding.
So let's do that real quick and get in the back and do our close out there, and we can end this one for the night.
All right. Well, guys.
But we'll have to have a part 2.
Yeah.
We do have a podcast tomorrow night with Reverend Patience, 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Everybody from ShadowZone and Tessa, thank you for being on the show. And you folks have a hauntingly good night and a ghoulishly good day. Peace out, y'all.